Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Elise, and this is 10 to Life, and we are talking total true crime here. Now, before we jump into it, I have to just do a quick little PSA, and this is not just for myself as a creator, but for any other creators that you may watch. YouTube recently announced that they basically not only have changed the algorithm, but they've actually split the algorithm. And without getting into too much crazy detail as to what that means, because algorithms can be very confusing, the gist of it is that even if you are subscribed to a channel, or even if you watch a video on a channel in its entirety, or even if you like a video that you've watched on your channel, the algorithm has now switched a little bit to where those videos are not going to be, or I should say videos from that creator or similar videos are not going to always populate on your main YouTube page. And this was called out, I guess, because a lot of people were noticing that their views were going down, or that their subscribers were telling them that they weren't getting notified of new videos and all these things. So basically they announced what had happened with this split in the algorithm. So for all of you who like this channel or any other creator that you watch, my recommendation is, if you're noticing that and you're noticing that you're not seeing the new videos come up on your feed, not even notifications, just seeing them on your YouTube app or on your desktop, then double check, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that when you do watch a video from that creator that you're always hitting the like button. And what else was I going to say? Hit the like button. What else did they say they split? It was something with shorts. Oh, and then of course, if you want the notification, just turn your notification bell hit the bell button and it'll turn it on. But I guess that they're saying that usually the old algorithm, when you would watch a video, whether it's in entirety, you would like it, or you were subscribed already to the channel, those would always populate on your feed. So people would be like, oh, so-and-so posted a new video, let me watch. And now that's kind of going away, or not going away, but shifting dramatically. So make sure that you're always doing those steps, so that if you want to make sure that you're notified or that you see videos. Otherwise, they're going to start layering in more shorts from all different users, because they're trying to push YouTube shorts. So just a little PSA, because some of you guys have been reaching out to me too, saying you're not seeing my stuff come across your screen anymore. So if you're facing that, just make sure that you hit the like button and make sure that you are subscribed if you're not. And then I guess just always double check back, because we're trying to figure out what this means, because they're getting a lot of pushback actually from creators and from users, because users are seeing content that they don't want to see. They're not seeing their usual content. So anyways, sorry, that was a very long-winded PSA, but and I wish I could have explained it a little bit more clearly. I'll try for the next video. But anyways, hello. And if you are new here and you have no idea who I am, my name's Annie. And this is a true crime channel. So if you are stopping by and checking it out for the first time, I hope you enjoy today's case that we're going to be talking about, and consider subscribing to the channel. So the case we're talking about today is one of those honeymoon nightmares, where you go off on this tropical vacation, you think it's going to be fun and beautiful and serene, and it turns into a horror story. And that is exactly what happened here for a newlywed couple who was splurging on this beautiful vacay, and it turned into a nightmare. It's all over the headlines right now. You may have seen it, but there is a lot to unpack here. So let's jump right in.
10 to Life with Elise starts right now.
Christe Chen is a 39-year-old woman living in Memphis, Tennessee. Christe grew up as an only child, and she used to travel a lot with her mom on these extravagant trips, and she would post them to her social media, and it was just very close with her mother. She's also described as super sweet and kind, and would do anything for anybody. Also, very outgoing, generous, and just so fun to be around. And Christe also was once a very talented baker who had actually had a very successful bakery in Colorado. But she moved to Memphis and decided that she was going to study because she wanted to become a pharmacist. So in 2015, Christe met a man named Brad Dawson when they were planning a mutual friend's bachelorette party. Brad worked as an IT specialist for Youth Villages, which is a private, nonprofit organization dedicated to helping children with emotional and behavioral problems, and help with their family live successfully through that. So the two of them quickly bonded over their love of long-distance running and their charitable work as well. They also both shared a passion for the Chicago Cubs, because they were both from the Windy City. And in February of this year, that budding romance was in full bloom, and the two of them got married. They decided not to go on a honeymoon right away and thought it best to postpone until summer. So on July 7th of this year, the newlyweds headed out for a belated honeymoon and checked into Turtle Island Resort in Fiji. Now, this resort itself is absolutely stunning, and it's actually where the hit movie from the 1980s that Brooke Shields was in, what was it called, Blue Lagoon, that's where it was filmed. So the luxury beachside location is also so exclusive that it only has 14 villas across the full 500 acres, and it's so secluded that only resort staff actually lives on this remote island. Each guest also has their own personal butler, which is known as the Beer Mama, I think is what it's called, where they basically arrange the picnics and the dinners and the island tours, whether horseback riding, snorkeling, diving, all of the activities for the couple, all the way down to, personal massages, whatever it is you want. And the room rate for this kind of stay and for Christe and Brad's stay was $3,500 a night. I am talking massive, massive luxury. That is some heavy coin to pay. But what started as a luxury tropical vacation to celebrate their love for each other turned into a horrific crime scene just 2 days after arriving on the secluded island. On July 9th, 2 days after arriving, the newlywed couple didn't show up to eat breakfast. So this raised an alarm for their personal butler, who was responsible again for all of their arrangements. The butler then went to the couple's bungalow and found a do not disturb sign on the door, hanging from the doorknob. So not thinking much of it and thinking perhaps they just chose to sleep in or maybe we're having some, private newlywed fun, he turned around and he left. However, a few hours later, they failed to turn up to lunch as well. Now, in addition to making their arrangements for the day and planning their activities, the butler also personally cleans these bungalows daily. So the 50-year-old butler used a spare key he had to unlock the door and started cleaning the common areas of their bungalow. However, as he was cleaning, he saw blood stains on the bathroom wall. And when he went to investigate, he stumbled upon a truly gruesome scene. Christe was covered in blood and laying on the bathroom floor in their private beach hut room. She appeared to have been beaten to death and suffered multiple traumatic injuries to her body and blunt force trauma to the head. The butler immediately alerted hotel management, who called the Fiji police force in the nearby city, which is just a little under an hour from the international airport. At the same time officers were recovering Christe's body, they also sent a team out to search for her husband, Brad, who was nowhere to be found. The search continued all afternoon and into the night, but nobody could find Brad. This was not looking good and was starting to wave all sorts of red flags. If I had my red flag handy, I would be waving it right now. So the next day, on Sunday, July 10th, around 3 p.m., a local man in a town approximately a little over a mile across the water from that luxury island and luxury resort spotted Brad. And the local said that Brad told him that he had used a kayak to paddle to the island between 2 and 3 a.m. on Saturday morning, after he had a fight with his wife, Christe. He landed on a secluded beach of this new town and then was just wandering around after that. The local said that Brad was bruised and bleeding from his palms and his feet, but said that the injuries could have been caused from falling onto nearby coral after he kayaked over. He said that Brad appeared so disturbed, so he decided to offer him some water and some help. And he said at first that Brad kept refusing food, kept refusing water, and insisted that he was okay. But then when the local insisted that he had some water, he finally complied. And then he said, "Please help me, I need to call the police." He said that Brad kept insisting on calling the police and told other locals who had started now gathering around that he was extremely drunk. The local stated that Brad never told them that he killed his wife, but that they could still smell alcohol on him. That's how intoxicated he was. Brad also continued to repeat this: "We had a fight, we had a fight, we had a fight," and offered no start or end to that story. Just kept saying and kept repeating, "We had a fight."
Michael, good morning. A luxury resort in Fiji. It's the kind of place that couples dream of vacationing, but for this newlywed couple, it has become the scene of a crime. A woman now dead.
More questions than answers this morning in a luxury vacation turned nightmare for two American newlyweds. 36-year-old Christe Chen found dead in her Fiji hotel room and rattling the South Pacific Island community where the couple was vacationing. Public records show the Memphis area couple tied the knot in February. The Turtle Island resort confirming the two were guests at the all-inclusive luxury resort. Authorities still trying to piece together how the couple's trip to paradise allegedly turned to horror. Fiji police tell ABC News a resort housekeeper discovered Chen's body lying on the floor of her hotel room earlier this month. The housekeeper alerted hotel management, a medical team later pronouncing Chen dead. Resort telling ABC News, our highest priority is the safety and concern for our guests and team, both who we value as family, and we are extremely saddened by the event.
A team of 3 police officers soon arrived to take Brad back to Turtle Island, where it appeared he had originally fled from on that kayak. They took him back, and he was charged with murder. And when asked to submit his DNA for forensic testing, he refused.
According to police, Dawson fled the scene and was found days later in the city of Nandi, miles away from the resort, where he was taken into custody.
A Memphis couple's honeymoon in Fiji ends with the wife dead and the husband charged with murder. 38-year-old Bradley Robert Dawson is in jail tonight without bond. Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson is live outside the couple's home in Cooper Young. Daniel, the wife worked as a pharmacist here in Memphis, and I got a text this morning from several people talking about this. They were apparently known by many people here.
Known and loved, yes, Christe Chen. She graduated from UT. The couple lived in this house, this new house in Cooper Young right here behind me. Tonight, Chen is being remembered. What should have been the perfect honeymoon for a Memphis couple on a Fiji island has ended in this. Newly married 38-year-old Bradley Robert Dawson charged with the murder of his wife, 39-year-old Christe Chen. The Fiji Sun reports Dawson is accused of killing his wife in a resort on the Yasawa Islands. Fox 13 uncovered records showing the couple lived in Cooper Young on Elsie Avenue. Here in the Cooper Young area of Memphis, we spoke with several neighbors. They had heard of the incident, but none wanted to go on camera. One neighbor says she saw Chen right before the vacation. She described her as elated she would get to spend her honeymoon in Fiji. We did some digging and discovered Chen graduated from UT and worked as a pharmacist at a Kroger in Memphis. Bradley Dawson is employed by Youth Villages, a nonprofit that works to improve the lives of children. The organization says he's been suspended pending further information. Youth Villages now offering their condolences to Chen's family and said Dawson is on leave. Not much is known about how Chen died. Meanwhile, police in Fiji continue their investigation in hopes of finding an answer to the question, why?
So Brad is now being held in a cell on the mainland, awaiting a bail hearing this week. But his lawyer absolutely denies that his client is a murderer. He is saying there is no way that he can be convicted of murder. No way, full stop. That's a quote. Which just has me curious. Did Christe beat herself to death? And did blood magically get transferred to your client's hands, fists, and feet? He continued to say, on the evidence that they have presented so far, there's no proof of the charge of murder with the intention to kill or premeditation. Nothing of that sort whatsoever. That, on the face of it, he says it looks like an accident, but that they will be able to confirm that once they get the full disclosure this week and get in front of other witnesses. His lawyer also said that Brad was too distraught to talk for days after he was charged with his wife's murder. And his exact words were, something surprising happened. Brad's okay now, but he was really distressed when it happened. And last week he was in a desperate condition, but apparently he's picking up now. It's a horrendous thing to have happen on your honeymoon, his lawyer says. Yeah, it is a horrendous thing, but even more horrendous if you're the one on the receiving end of that is, just my 2 cents on that.
When Americans travel to foreign countries and are alleged to have committed a crime, in this case murder, the local authorities will use their process. Mr. Dawson's going to be in Fiji for a long time before this case is resolved one way or the other.
And Dawson's lawyer in Fiji tells us that he intends to file an application for bail on Monday, but thinks it'll be hard to secure because Dawson doesn't have any local family connections who can provide assurances. Michael.
So Christe's family is obviously devastated, and friends say that she was so excited to start her life as a married couple and soon have children.
Christe was one of those people that the moment that you met her, it's that unique connection where you feel like you've really known this person throughout your entire life.
But Brad is maintaining his innocence while he's locked up in this Fiji jail. But my question for you is, what do you think happened? Now, we're waiting on a lot of details still, and I'm guessing that we're going to get them this week, but we know that he was intoxicated. So did he get drunk and maybe they fought and he lashed out? Maybe it wasn't a purposeful deadly attack, or did she slip in the bathroom after maybe losing her balance? Did he strike her once and then she fell and hit her head? I mean, everyone is staying pretty tight-lipped right now, but I'd imagine that after the hearing, we're going to learn a lot more details. And the resort is also remaining quiet, which I'm sure was, forced by management, and they probably had to sign some sort of non-disclosure. But nobody's really speaking about anything they saw the night before the murder, if they saw the couple in an argument. We know he was admitting to these locals at this new town that he kayaked over to that he had gotten into an argument with her, that he had kayaked around 2 or 3 in the morning. He had blood all over him, so I think it's safe to assume he fled the scene and that's her blood on him. The fact that he is unwilling to submit to DNA testing or any forensic evidence also gives me pause. My guess and my prediction here, they got drunk or he got drunk, some sort of fight ensued, and maybe it'll depend on how many wounds she has, but maybe he didn't purposefully try to kill her, but if it were in the bathroom and they had some sort of tile or marble flooring, perhaps he hit her and she fell and hit her head, and that's how she passed away. But based on the scene that the butler described and how much blood there was, my guess is that there was probably more than one hit. But that's just my guess, and that's just my opinion. Don't hold me to it because we don't know the facts yet. I'm guessing we are going to learn those facts soon. And I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. We have seen so many cases like this where it's like honeymoons gone wrong, or somebody marries somebody just to go on a honeymoon and kill them because they want the life insurance. I feel like this happens all the time, way more common than it should. Now, we don't know much about their history as a couple. We have heard friends speak out saying that they were a great couple, that he was such a nice guy, that everybody's so shocked and surprised by these events. So could it have been a moment in time and not a pattern that had been happening with this couple? Not that that excuses it by any means, obviously, but I'm just wondering if there were no red flags seen by anybody, which obviously you can always hide DV no matter what situation you're in. I just wonder what really happened and what the history is, because it doesn't seem like they had a tumultuous relationship from everything we know. So then what caused the argument that night while you're at this beautiful $4,000 a night resort on your honeymoon and your newlyweds? What was so bad that it caused such an argument to end like this? I'm curious, and I'm sure we're going to learn more soon. So I'll keep you guys updated on this, and let me know your thoughts below. And also, guys, one more time, PSA, don't forget, please, if you like this channel, like this video, like this creator, hit the like button, hit subscribe, because this algorithm is just like effing up everybody's world, both creators and viewers. So, all right, guys, until the next case, stay safe. Bye.